Hey guys, welcome back to Stainless Steel, our English campaign. Before we get to sacking Frankfurt and Milan and everything else, I just want to point out something really quickly. I've been thinking about this for quite a while now. What I'm going to do is put this, the English series, by episode 60 into hibernation, meaning that after episode 60, I'm no longer going to be producing episodes for this series for a couple months. And the reason for this is, this series, I've been doing it for like a year and a half, and it doesn't seem to be, it's going to be ending anytime soon. So, I want to do other content. Unfortunately, like I said, this series is not going to be ending soon, and I don't want to just leave it unfinished. So in order to accommodate what I'm going to be doing is trying out like a rotational kind of system. For instance, I'll put this series on the back burner for 3 months. I'll put it on ice, if you will, and then that will give me time to do other games. For example, I know Telltale just released their Game of Thrones game a couple weeks ago. That looks really interesting. I have that. It looks like the Viking expansion for Mount & Blade Warband came out middle of the month. I know I'd like to do a Fall of the Samurai campaign. Divide et Impera for Rome 2 just reached version 1.0, and that would be fun to play as well. There's just this whole, I'd like to do a Paradox game eventually. There's all these options that I could play and cover, just I don't have the time to do England, Mordor, as well as my smaller series, Banner Saga, which will eventually be replaced. But I just don't have the time to match the output of bigger channels. If you were to go on to any bigger Total War channel, you would realize that they put out a lot of videos, and that allows them to just steam through the campaigns. I don't know if they actually play those campaigns fully to completion. I haven't watched any of their series to completion, so it's hard to say. But basically, I just want to be able to cover other games and kind of stay, you know, relevant to current releases as opposed to being stuck in 2005 with Medieval 2, which is fine. I love Medieval 2, but I just would like to cover other stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to be trying out this rotational kind of system, and first of all, I'm going to be hibernating England for 2 or 3 months, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, I hope you guys understand that I need to diversify my content a little bit. I know that you guys will watch it regardless. The vast majority of you actually watch England and Mordor, but some of you watch all of my videos regardless of what they're covering. So hopefully you guys stick around, and you know what? Let's just jump into the game here. I've been rambling for far too fucking long. So we've got Hubert of Shrewsbury and his support army, Oliver Russell, besieging Frankfurt, and they are actually ready to take the city. But before we do that, I just want to scout out with Ralph of York. I've got Ralph of York blocking Geoffrey of Ireland because Giles Albrighton is coming for him. He's going to chase him to the very ends of the fucking earth, and he's going to slit his little lying throat, unfortunately. If you don't remember, Geoffrey of Ireland is the turncoat lord that we had in Dijon, and for some reason he defected to the Kievan Rus. I don't really know. But anyway, Ralph of York is going to be searching for a Genoese army. There was another Genoese army on the roads here, and I can't really recall where they have gone. I don't have any spies nearby, unfortunately. Fulk is actually going to try to kill Geoffrey of Ireland as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't have nearly as good as a chance as good old Giles Albrighton, but nevertheless, Gerard Lumley is also on the case, but he's got quite a bit of skill also. Let's see. Gerard Lumley is a better choice, but we're not going to bother with that. I'm going to send Gerard up north into Danish territory so he can try to cause as much havoc as he can there. Oh shit, I've actually got a spy in this fleet here. Okay, so we'll drop off that spy so we can take a look at Roskilde, which is woefully undermanned. They've got one single unit there covering what I believe is the previous capital of Denmark. Oh shit, okay. Before we blockade that port, I suppose we actually have to talk to the Pope, and our diplomat is busy fucking around in Venice for some odd reason. Okay, here we go. We're going to give a gift of... Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's not bother Oh shit, I had completely forgotten. We have regular tribute just streaming into the purse of the Pope. So we can probably just blockade these ports without any worry. Yeah, there we go. We've failed our mission, but the Pope is still completely enamored with us. He actually likes us more than he likes Denmark, which is a little odd. Nigel is taking a look at Hamburg, and we're actually going to get him to infiltrate the place. Yeah, yet again, but look at that. He died. He had an 80% chance, and he died. We can get Aston Hardwick to spy on some of these guys. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have a lot of skill, so we're going to train him on this merchant. There we go. He gained a tiny bit of skill, and now he has a slightly higher chance of looking at shit without getting killed. Our relations with Norway are very poor. Looks like Poland is at war with... Poland is now allied with Hungary. Hungary has declared a truce with Venice, giving Venice a chance to try to focus on us. Well, they do have quite a lot of enemies, actually. That was a complete and utter lie. We are slowly losing a little bit of money. Oh shit, our diplomat in Austria has died. Christopher Cromwell has kicked the bucket. Alan Moores, our spy in Norway, has also died. Ellen of Devon, Maria the Snob, they've both died. Man, shit is not looking good for our wives this episode. Okay, you know what? London now has an abbey, and we can actually build probably a cathedral. Oh no, that doesn't actually do anything. I was hoping that would help population growth, but we'll just throw that out there anyway. We'll build a massive cathedral in London. I mean, you think London would have a massive cathedral if it doesn't already. York, once again, will have to build some bigger buildings as well. Okay, you know what? Let's build these farms. There we go. That will bump up the population growth in York. Exeter can probably have a tavern for now. Winchester has an abbey, and we can probably go about building a fairground. There we are. Carnarvon now has a barracks, and we can recruit feudal foot knights and some feudal knights as a garrison. We should build probably an archery range in Carnarvon, because eventually we'll be able to hire longbowmen, but it is not this day. Speaking of, Samuel Russell is going to try yet again to hire some longbows, or sorry, it's going to be Matthew Aubigny. There's no longbows to be found, unfortunately. That's just fine. We've got some Gallo Glass mercenaries waiting for pickup outside of York, and I don't actually have a... Okay, well, I've got Admiral David dropping off some longbows, and we can replace our archery units in good old Eustace's army here with our 3 longbows. There we go. Look at that. They've got a huge amount of skill already, right off the boat. Fresh off the boat, and they've got massive amounts of skill. So there we go. That's Eustace Vaughan set for the siege of Hamburg. We've got Bjorn here. He is the asshole that we happen to have bribed to join our side. That's what it was. We bribed him to join our side, and now he fights for our cause because he doesn't like Denmark anymore. I don't really know what happened there. But we've got a ton of archer units for him. 6 archer units, which is actually too much. I'm going to leave 2 of these archer units behind in Groningen so they can help with garrisoning or defense or what have you. Now, Eustace has left and forsaken Bjorn, unfortunately, which is not great. Let's see, we've got Matthew of Evesham here that we need to get into Hamburg. When the time is right, we just got to train him a little bit on these different diplomats and merchants and whatnot. There we go. But still, he can take a look at Hamburg. It has not a bad army, a lot of spear units. Luckily, they don't have many axe units. Actually, they've got some Huscarls and huge double-handed axemen, but that's not too bad. Visby now has a shipwright, and speaking of Visby, we do have a oh shit. There was that Norse army that was on the shores of Visby, and it looks like it has defected to a rebel faction. I don't really know how that works, but I think what we'll do is retrain what units we have, replace our spearmen perhaps with these feudal foot knights. We'll attack those rebels just to get them the fuck out of here, and then we can sail and take Kalmar. Look at that. We're going to attack Denmark in the rear. Like, no fucking problem. I am building mines in Visby. I forgot. Marseille, we have a school, and look at that. There's nothing to build in Marseille. It is completely 100% filled with buildings to the fucking brim. Let us build a university in Paris. And then in Dijon, we can build a school. Oh my god, so many buildings. Bruges now has a tavern, and look at that. A library is the last thing we can build. Marseille rather, looks to be like it's not going to actually be able to upgrade, unfortunately. Maybe if I crank taxes down to low, that will allow it to upgrade. And then we can get rid of the squalor, hopefully. It's hard to say. But there we go. We've got a ton of units. We've got a few more units in Toulouse, just in case Aragon decides to attack. I was thinking that we have an army in Bordeaux, but we don't really have much of a garrison army in Toulouse. So I just recruited a few more units to aid in that garrison. And speaking of, we got to move some units from Clermont to the front lines, like so. And now we can actually attack Milan with Hugh de Beaune, our main man. Hugh de Beaune is on the case. He's going to assault the fucking place, and I'll resolve the attack here. There we go. Boom. Clear victory. We have captured Milan and basically put a huge dent in the territory of Venice, because I think they've only got like 3 or 4 territories. Really. They had Milan, they have Venice, and they had Ragusa at some point as well, but whether or not they still have that it's hard to say. Look at that. Relations have worsened with the Republic of Venice. Who'd have thunk? As soon as we attack the place, who would have thunk? And we can also attack Captain Victor in the field here and auto-resolve his very demise, and we will actually release these men. And there we go. We can garrison Milan. I would like to take Genoa while we're at it. Unfortunately, there's quite a force in Genoa, so we'll have to retrain and get some reinforcements, because actually we did lose quite a few men there. I didn't look at the statistics of the battles, but we did lose quite a few infantry in that battle, unfortunately. Bern is lacking in garrison, and that's quite fine for now. Unless the Holy Romans get fresh, we don't have to worry about it. I've got a lot of reinforcements training in Metz, and we could probably send some of them towards Milan if need be, because we don't really need any reinforcements around Frankfurt, unless Ralph of York, of course, bumps into that Genoese army, but I don't really know where they could have gone, unfortunately. We'll trespass in Danish lands just to piss them off. Oh, is that? Nope, these are both Danish armies, and holy shit, we may as well march out to meet them and attack them whilst we near Nuremberg. I don't know, Nuremberg is pretty far off until we capture Frankfurt and Hamburg, and, well, I don't know how far I want to penetrate into Danish territory before I end this war. I don't think I want to, you know, totally annex the Danes, because they have quite a lot of territory, and I don't want to overextend. I just want to make them pay a heavy penance for initiating this war. So I think maybe I'll take Nuremberg, I'll take Magdeburg, and I'll take Hamburg. I'll take the 3 burgs, and we can continue on. That will actually cut the Danish Empire in half, back to their original holdings in Denmark, and then we can advance into Venice, take Innsbruck, Venice itself, maybe these Genoese territories in the Italian peninsula. And I'm not going to touch Genoa in the north of Africa for now. Holy shit, there we go. All of northern Africa is now yellow. It's now stained yellow with the shitty colors of Genoa, unfortunately. But you know what? Let us speak no more of Genoa. Let's get good old Hubert of Shrewsbury to assault the walls with support of Oliver Russell. Here we go. Hopefully we deploy, you know, somewhat near each other, because, you know, we're actually near each other on the campaign map, but it's hard to say. I think we'll actually have to deploy opposite sides of the city, which is not the greatest. Luckily for us, this city is actually held by a captain, Captain Giorgio. And you know what? We could probably just starve these guys out. A few more turns and some of these units will just kind of be wiped off the fucking face of the planet. So you know what? Let's starve these guys for a few more turns. We have 2 stacks outside of the walls already, just rampaging around in Danish lands. 2 more in the north. Eustace Vaughan is our man in the north. Obviously, Hubert of Shrewsbury is our man, and you know, in the middle. And I guess not Thomas of Paget, but Ralph of York will be our man in the east. Hard to say. Whilst we also have Hugh de Beaune, of course, in the south. You know what? I think we could probably just end the turn here. I don't think there is much else for us to do. We got a bit of agent management, but of course, nothing is going on. We've got Hubert de Brez here, but he can't really kill anyone because he has no skill whatsoever. I think we do have a boat headed for Constantinople. Here it is. It's got 2 priests on it, and we'll drop them right outside the very city, Blammo. Well, technically Istanbul. These 2 priests are going to try to convert as many assholes as they can outside of Istanbul. The fleet is going to have to return back to England. Let's see, I thought there was another ship full of agents. Here it is. Admiral Randolph is on his way to Greece. We're going to try to drop off a few merchants in Greece before we continue on into Byzantine lands, because I think there's actually quite a few mines in Greece, different trade nodes that we can peruse, for example, but that will have to be resolved next turn when our fleet actually arrives. We've got a few rebel armies, 2 in the south here, one of course in Visby, that fat stack in Visby. We don't have any in England proper, so that's great. None in Ireland, and look at that, we're just fucking ready to go. Where is our ships? Here it is. Admiral Davis is going to sail to pick up those Gallo-Glass mercenaries who can probably reinforce. What the hell happened there? I thought I was out of movement points, but apparently not. Anyway, Captain Arthur is going to hop on to Admiral David. His ships. He's going to hop on to Admiral David's ships. He's not going to hop on to the man himself because, I don't know if you know this, but Admiral David is a renowned homophobic. So if you were to, you know, even joke about that sort of thing, he would just absolutely lose his fucking mind. You know what? We kind of need watchtowers. We are overextending too quickly here, and we don't have any watchtowers. So I'm going to get Hugh de Beaune to drop one outside of Milan. We can see that there are quite a few Genoese units outside of Bologna over here. Genoese, I don't know, I said it like that. But anyway, I think we can probably just end the turn here. Like I said, there's not much to be done. We have a Danish navy in the channel. I don't actually have a fleet ready to engage, so I'm going to recruit yet another fleet outside of London. There we are. Probably recruit another ship outside of Winchester, maybe Nottingham as well. We can combine all of these fleets later on. That's the thing in Medieval 2. I think you can combine fleets as long as they don't have, you know, as long as the admirals don't have skill. Meaning they've never fought a battle in their life. So, for example, well, not many of my fleets have skill. I think Admiral Falk, I don't know. But if you try to combine 2 navies with skill points, like the Admiral has skill, then they don't mix. It's very odd, but otherwise, you're free to go. You're free to mix and match to your heart's content. Anyway, let's end the turn here. Alright, you know what? We may have to hold off in Milan for now until Hugh de Beaune receives reinforcements, because if I go for Venice with Hugh de Beaune, which is quite weak, or if I go for Genoa, then either or will attack us. Like if I go for Venice, Genoa will march north from Genoa most likely and take Milan, cutting off my supply routes, air quotes, and then if I, you know, go for Genoa, Venice might retake Milan. It's hard to say. It's probably safer to march towards Genoa, because I could just march right back north and deal with the Venetians if they were to get fresh. But oh shit, the Doge Palmerio is actually marching towards Innsbruck, and he can probably swing westward towards Bern if need be. Unfortunately for us. And you know what, before we do anything, I think I should point out, I don't really know if we've done this recently, you know, if we've gone over our financial overview, but holy shit, we have a massive amount of income. Look at this. We are making 28,000 florins per turn, whilst we are spending 50,000 florins on our military. So we could potentially field even more stacks if need be. Like if Aragon were to attack, we have 1 stack in Bordeaux, of course, but we will, you know, we'd have to have a reinforcement stack of militia that we can recruit from Toulouse, and those 2 stacks can go fucking buck wild. If Norway were to attack in England, then we can recruit some stacks in Nottingham, Carnarvon, Inverness, etc. And none of this would really put a dent in our finances. I only mentioned Norway and Aragon because if we look at Venice, their allies are Denmark, Portugal, Aragon, and Norway. And if we look at Denmark, their allies are Venice, Aragon, and Norway. So potentially we could be looking at a 2, 3, or 4-pronged war. You know, if they were really smart, they'd build a coalition against us. We're halfway there. We've got Denmark, and unfortunately the Venetians were called to war. Now we just have to wait for them to call the Norwegians into this war, and then we are fucking ready to rock. Unfortunately, Ralph of York doesn't really have a whole lot of units. I don't know what my original plan was with Ralph of York, but unfortunately for us, he is not really ready to engage in combat. There we go. We got fucking Geoffrey of Ireland. Fulk Curthose got him, no fucking problem. Giles of Albrighton is going to be removing as many, I don't know, merchants, Danish assholes as we can. We got a Genoese guy up here that we can probably take care of. Fulk Curthose now has a huge amount of skill. It appears he's got 5 or 6 skill points. Look at that. He is the guild master as well, and he was able to kill good old Geoffrey of Ireland. Okay, what else is going on? Relations have improved, apparently, with everyone. Cardinal has been promoted. Holy fucking shit. We have so many cardinals. I think it is safe to say that the next cardinal is, of course, going to be English. Denmark is no longer at war with Lithuania, unfortunately, I guess. Really, there was probably no contact to begin with. We have a new mission to end the war with Denmark, but of course that's not going to happen. We dealt with piracy there. Edgar the missionary, our priest in Caen, has died, so we'll recruit a new priest to replace him. And that appears to be all that's really going on. Lewis Throckmorton is now the Duke of Borgogne. I don't know how to pronounce that. Which means he is the Lord of Dijon, I believe. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have many lords to help with this war. We could throw our administrators into the fray if need be. I was just thinking that we need some reinforcements for good old Hudibone outside of Milan. And another lord would be good. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't have any. But I will take what reinforcements I can take from Metz, and then we can send them. Actually, you know what? Ralph of York might need those units instead. We'll pull Ralph of York back until he receives a bit of reinforcement. He needs a lot of cavalry in the form of our feudal knights. There we go. Ralph of York can just ride to meet them. He also needs a bit of infantry. He's got 3 units of melee infantry, 3 spear units, and 3 archer units. We have an archer unit right here. We have a crossbow unit that he can take. May as well do that. And then we will give him 1, 2, 3 units of melee infantry and another spear unit. There we go. That is a well-rounded army already. And then we can meet the Danes in battle. I don't want to, you know, meet the Danes in battle and get absolutely beat to shit because of their axes. So I'd rather have, you know, a strong army before I really engage in any massive wars / battles, I suppose. Galway now has paved roads. My god, Ireland is halfway civilized now. Antwerp, we're going to build a merchant's wharf. Because Antwerp is actually a massive trade port. Look at that. We're getting a ton of trade in Antwerp, and a merchant's wharf will actually increase trade by, well, only 200 gold coins. Unfortunately, that's not stellar, but I mean, it is something. Okay, let us combine these navies like so. We have another fleet. Admiral Jacob is ready to rock. There was a Danish fleet in the channel, but of course, he has fled by now. I don't really know where that fleet has gone, nor do I ultimately care. Oh shit, they're right outside of Rennes. So here we go. We'll sack these guys with our fleet. We'll totally demolish Admiral Hans here, and there we go. We failed another mission. But Admiral oh sorry, Admiral Stephen is our admiral. Look at that, we actually lost a few ships in that battle. So we'll have to possibly, yeah, we can get another ship in Ren. Wonderful. We can retrain. No, we can retrain. No. Okay, we'll retrain those ships as best we can. Can we recruit Hulk in Bordeaux? Yes, we can. There we go. Alright, not bad at all. We have another rebel army outside of Toulouse, so we'll grab Jasper here. And he will, I was going to say sailed to meet him. Well, I suppose he sailed, you know, gracefully over the land. And there we go. Oh shit, Jasper is the man of the hour. Do we want to adopt him into the royal family? No. We don't want to muddy the waters of the royal family any further than it currently is. I need to strengthen what little blood we have left. Ralph of York now has a son, Rufus of York. But all these strong names, Russell, I'm sure I've gone over this several times. Russell, Eustace, Vaughan, and whatnot. There are no sons, unfortunately, so all of our families are dying off, which is not great. Not stellar, to say the least. I'm going to have to recruit maybe some more units to deal with those... shit, never mind. I've got units here. Exactly what I was looking for as well, which is great. I've got another army to deal with right here. And we shall do so next turn, apparently. We can recruit some mercenaries, not really necessary though. We have a ton of militia in Dijon that we could probably just send to Hugh de Beaune, and they can reinforce in any battle that we need them to. There we go. We got Captain Philip. Captain Philip will go help Hugh de Beaune in Italy itself, the Italian peninsula, and then we can go from there. We are starving out these assholes in Frankfurt, slowly but surely. We could probably attack Frankfurt next video. I'm not going to wait too much longer before we initiate that assault. Eustace Vaughan is now marching on Hamburg, the capital of Denmark right now. And you know, we can actually besiege the place this turn. So what I will do is I'll put Eustace Vaughan on the corner here. He can assault Hamburg. We can put Bjorn on the bridge, and that will cut off any reinforcements from the north. Luckily enough, we have quite a strong army to do that. Oh shit, Prussian spearmen. I've never seen these guys. That's kind of odd. It's just a superior spear unit, which is not bad at all. We could probably recruit these guys. It's not really necessary, just flavor, I suppose. For an upkeep of 425, though, I don't know. That's pretty steep. That is quite a steep price. But there we go. Eustace Vaughan is now besieging Hamburg. We've got Conrad Gastrickland in the capital. I don't know where the Danish king is at right now, unfortunately, but I'm not too worried about that either. Falk is actually going to march towards Nuremberg. We've got Erland Gastrickland. I think Gastrickland is the family name of the royal family. We have a few family members outside of Nuremberg, and I'm sure that Falk can cut them down, potentially. Edgar of Kingsbridge, what a fucking name. That's definitely a spy name. He's going to take a look at the Doge's army here. It seems to be chock full of mercenaries. We've got mercenary spearmen, mercenary macemen, mercenary crossbows, Frankish knights, meaning that the Venetians have huge amounts of florins in their coffers, but they don't have the manpower to back it up. So if we were to march on Venice, I'm sure it would be quite an easy battle. Unfortunately for us, we don't have the manpower to really deal with that right now. Speaking of manpower, we have quite a lot of manpower in Visby. I just remembered that I was saying that we will take the main lands of Denmark. Maybe we could even take Aarhus. But I just realized that we're going to be taking Kalmar with our force in Visby. So maybe we could just stop at Visby. I don't know. We could probably just attack Lund and Roskilde and take all of these cities in one fell swoop. Because they seem to be very lightly garrisoned. So I don't know. Should we just annex all of Denmark? Do you think? Would that not overextend our borders? I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyway, we will actually disband what little spear militia we have. Replace them with our knights. There we are. We can probably recruit another unit of archers as well. or Viking raiders. I'll go archers. Archers, my mistake. And then we can assault those... oh shit, a Norwegian fleet full of another army. What the fuck is with Norway? I don't know. I'm just waiting for them to attack us at any minute. And speaking of, we actually need a fleet in Visby. So I'm going to recall Admiral Falk here. He's going to take port in Visby, or Gotland if you want to, and he's going to just watch out for Admiral Christopher if need be. These guys have a lot of really badass units as well. My goodness. Huscarl Cavalry, bit of Crusader units, Pilgrims. I guess this is the army that is returning from Lithuania, perhaps. Speaking of, we need a few more priests in Lithuania, and probably Grenada as well, Northern Africa. I think the majority of our priests are now chilling in the Holy Lands outside of Jerusalem. Speaking of, Jerusalem is at 18% Catholicism, and I don't think it's going to be rising at any time. Same with Damascus. It's at 6% right now. Hubert de Brez, maybe he can assassinate this Venetian diplomat. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Hubert de Brez has actually found a target outside of Damascus, and luckily for us, it was actually an agent of our enemy, Venice. I don't know what the fucking chances are, but there we go. He is now our man of death outside of... Oh shit, was there a fortress right there that I missed? Hard to say. But we've got priests outside of Istanbul. We've got priests in the Holy Land. We've got one outside of Grenada. I don't think any of our... Oh no, we have a few priests still standing in Northern Africa itself. Looks like the Fatimids are being blockaded by rebels. Very oddly enough. Both fucking ports are being blockaded by rebel navies. Weird. Weird as all hell. But our second fleet, led by Admiral Randolph, is going to try to drop off a few merchants here. Let's see what we got. We've got 300 florins all throughout. I don't know what these nodes are trading in, but we can always check it out. There is the gold mines in Hungary that we could go for as well. I don't think there's anything really in Crete or Rhodes, maybe Cyprus. It's hard to say, but you know what, let's just drop off 2 or 3 merchants in Sparta here. Whatever this, oh, it's Corinth, my mistake. The Peloponnese, and then we can start trading in these metals. It appears to be marble. We can start trading in marble outside of Corinth. And also, what is this? Arda. Okay. We can trade in wine outside of Athens, but I wouldn't say that's really worthwhile. Looks like there is another trade node in Thessalonica. I couldn't say what it is though, but we have 3 merchants ready for trade. So we can probably drop off 1 more in Thessalonica, maybe a few in Anatolia here. Because our good friend Guy Walgrave, he had a hard time finding a proper trade node. They're more often than not occupied by the Byzantines, which is understandable. But anyway, you know what, guys? I think we can probably end the episode here. When we come back next video, we will assault Frankfurt, take it. We'll get some reinforcements down to Hudibone, and we can proceed in Italy. I think we'll actually attack Genoa before we take Venice. Like I said, it makes more sense to march south. Just in case Venice gets sneaky, we can march north again towards Milan. Unfortunately for us, we've got Doge Palmerio in Innsbruck, and I don't know what his plan is. We'll have to see. Perhaps he's marching on Salzburg, which would make sense. If I was Venice, I'd be trying to gobble up as much territory as I could right now. Try to strengthen what little armies I have. We've got Eustace besieging Hamburg. Bjorn is holding the bridge north of Eustace, of course, and then when the time comes, he can just turn right around and join the assault as well. Actually, you know what? If we were to assault Hamburg right here, that may also cover the bridge. It's hard to say though. I don't think that would work actually. No, of course it wouldn't work. You know what? We'll see what Captain Hawken here does, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. Things are going well. just a few more episodes here, 2 more episodes after this one, and then of course, like I said earlier, I'm going to be hibernating this series. If you have any thoughts about that, leave a comment below, of course. I doubt you'd be able to sway my opinion on this, but you never know. If you say something really concise and persuasive, maybe I'll change my mind and you know, put this off or just not do it entirely. But I'm very steadfast in my opinion here. I'd really like to do this just so I can diversify my content a little bit and you know, just kind of remain, you know, up on the hip crowd, up with the new things, with the cool kids. You know what I'm saying? But fuck. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. As always, I'll see you guys next video.